Agrinautica is an engaging game where students create expressions, and as they create expressions, they get to add different rocks and plants and minerals to their planet, and it helps them become more comfortable with orders of operations. The first step to Agrinautica is just to play the game. So you're going to play just for a little bit, and then we're going to come back as a class and discuss some of the things that you noticed about the game, anything interesting, anything challenging that you noticed. So when you're ready, go ahead and press play and explore the game for a bit. Remember, it's okay to talk. You can look at your neighbor's screen and see what kind of plants they're creating in their screen. So in the first session of the gameplay, after about 10 to 15 minutes, you'll start to notice that students are becoming a lot more comfortable with creating expressions. They start noticing that they're creating different rocks or different minerals, and they're looking around and seeing other students' computers and figuring out, oh, I made that one too, or asking, how did you get that one? And so my job really during this time is just to kind of walk around and ask those open-ended questions just to get an idea of how they're engaging with the game and their thought process. What numbers and operations are you using?
Yeah, I can change the numbers.
One thing I really like about Agrinautica is that each student gets the chance to play differently. So after the first gameplay, I like to have a discussion so that each student has the opportunity to share about what they've noticed and what they've observed about the game so far. So first, what do you guys like about the game? What have you really enjoyed? Miguel?
Well, you can make different expressions and get different, for example, species, rocks, crystals.
You can be very creative.
You experiment.
I like that there's strategy.
What are some things that have been difficult about the game so far?
There's certain things that if you get wrong, you'll get like a weed.
What are some hints that maybe you noticed about the game that you went, that made it so much easier that you can tell someone else in the class? Yes?
You can go to the guide and then look like what it needs so you can get the expression that you need to do the category.
It gives you the expression that you need, but then it also gives you the value that the whatever you're trying to make need.
Thumbs up if you use the randomizer in the first game session. Okay, and tell me, what does the randomizer do?
It changes the numbers that you can use.
And how might that help you in the game?
Because if you change the numbers in an expression, then it might make something different.
Okay. Great strategy. Carter?
There are achievements that you can click on and you can see what things you want.
The achievements. Can you show us on your guide?
If you're in your world right here, you can go down to your guide, then you can go to achievements. And the ones that have white on them are the ones that you've done.
What else have you noticed? What math do you need to use in order to play?
Parentheses and different operations.
Multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction.
Excellent. We're going to play for about another 15 minutes, and I want you to see if you can take any of what we discussed and apply it to your game. Collaboration is very important during this game. It helps students become more comfortable with creating expressions and allows them to become more confident. As they talk to each other and they begin to share their experience and what they did and their strategies, I really see their confidence and comfort level grow. The goal of Agrinautica is for students to build expressions that match their intent. The sunburst activity practices the same theme in a different way. I like to start by drawing a circle on the board and leading them through different examples. So the first thing you're going to do is make the very center of your sunburst, and you're going to think of a value from 0 to 9 to put in the middle. I'm going to pick 4. Then you're going to create layers to your sunburst. So my next layer, I'm going to divide into 4 sections. And in those 4 sections, I am going to put the 4 operations, okay? Then I'm going to draw another layer and divide it into 4 again. And I'm going to start thinking of some expressions using these operations that will give me the value, my target value of 4. I'm going to start with division. So for example, I know that 8 divided by 2 gives me a value of 4. Okay? So when you are creating your own sunburst, you are going to write an expression for each operation that will give you your target value. Once you have your first layer on your sunburst, you are going to create an additional layer. And again, divide it into 4. And we're going to make our original expression a little more complex. Okay? The way we're going to do that is I'm going to pick a digit in my expression, so I have 8, and I want to think how I can break this 8 up. So who has an idea? What's a way that I can make 8? Yes?
4 times 2.
4 times 2. So I'm going to write 4 times 2 to show that 4 times 2 is replacing 8. Okay, and I'm going to bring my original operation down, divided by 2. So I still have 4 times 2 is 8, divided by 2 gives me my target value of 4. You're going to do this for every section of your sunburst, okay? If I drew an additional layer on my sunburst, then I can think of another way that I can break up 2, right? And make my expression even more complex. So I want you guys to really talk with your partner, work together, be very creative of how you're breaking up your numbers and writing your expressions. Any questions? Start discussing what you want your target value to be and begin. In the sunburst activity, students will be collaborating and working together to figure out how to create new expressions to get their target value. I really like that it takes them from more simple expressions to more complex because it allows them to get that conceptual understanding of how to build expressions and how they work at the simple level, and then they're able to apply that as it gets more challenging so that they can get their target value in the center. I want you to think if you can use a different operation other than addition or subtraction in your parentheses. Okay, good. Have you tried talking about creating an additional layer and what that would look like? We are going to do what's called a gallery walk next, where you're going to get the opportunity to get up and observe someone else's sunburst. I want you to be thinking about their expressions, observe any interesting way that they created or expanded their expression, and then we're going to come back and discuss in just a few minutes. Did they expand the expression in the same way that you did, or they chose different ways?
They chose different ways.
I want you to look at their sunburst, and I want you to discuss with your partner anything that you notice. And this is going to be your opportunity to ask them any questions that you have. Maybe why they chose to write their expression that way, why they chose the target value. What about this layer here? Would it have changed the value if they did not use expression? All right, so how is this sunburst activity going to help you when we go back to the next game session? How is this going to maybe help you get some new species, make some more complex expressions? What can you bring back to it? I'm going to give you guys another opportunity to play the game. You all have scratch paper and pencils that you can use to help write out any expressions. I really would like to see you try and create some more complex expressions and any species that you weren't able to get previously when we played. Any questions? All righty, you may begin. What are you helping each other create?
She's helping me get one of the animals.
After the sunburst activity, students are very excited to go back into the next gameplay. They've had an opportunity to practice and are now primed to create those more complex expressions, talk to each other, and challenge each other. Go ahead and pause real quick. Have your eyes for just a second. I have some very cool Math Snacks trading cards that has every species that you can create in the game. And so what I'd like to do, I'm gonna pass a card out and I want you to see if you can create it. After you have created the card that I give you, just come get another one and we'll keep going through and see if we can get through the whole deck. Trading cards are a really fun way to challenge students and to push themselves in a way they haven't been pushed before. It's also really fun to set a goal and achieve it as a class. Okay, so now that you've had another opportunity to play this game, what math are we seeing? After students share with each other about how to create more complex plans, we move on to the exit ticket, which is an opportunity for students to show what they've learned about creating expressions and using parentheses correctly. Write an expression for the value 24 using all or some of the numbers 2, 3, 4, and 8. We are done for today. For homework tonight, I'd like you to go to mathsnacks.org and you can play this game or any of the other Math Snacks game. If you play Agrinautica, I want you to come back and tell me what you created. I like the flexibility that I have with teaching Agrinautica. I can customize it however I need. I can do the sunburst activity outside. I can use the trading cards to motivate my students, to challenge them, whatever the case may be for my class. The teaching guides are a great place to start.